If Ahsoka genuinely didn't want to hurt the clones in this instance, she would have surrendered and let herself be killed, which is honestly more heroic than the crap she's pulling here.
I mean, in a kids show, I can understand why they wouldn't go for that. But if you want her to be a hero and not give up her life, there's ways it could have been done. I've seen lots of fan ideas and things like that. Like, even working with Maul, like she worked with Ventress, or like, I had one idea using the vents. That's what she did in season 2, Brain Invaders. She could easily climb through the vents because they're huge. She didn't have to confront a single clone. She would not have to do as much damage as she is doing. And especially by not releasing Maul or working with him so that she can kind of keep a lid on him like she did with Ventress. Why didn't she do that? Filoni could have had his cake and ate it too, that she survives, but she looks like a hero doing it. Instead, he makes her look like a completely horrible person. But he wants you to think, no, she's a hero, she's a good person, because she doesn't want to do what she's doing. But she does not take any available options to avoid doing what she's doing. It's the final episode. My mic stand broke, so now we're doing this.
I am so ready to be done with this show. 5 years of our lives gone, and we can never get them back. Yep, the dramatic music. Ugh, it's so just self-indulgent. Hate this show.
That's orange. They made it red for Maul, blue for R2-D2, orange for Ahsoka. The finale is Ahsoka. Ahsoka is what TCW is all about to Filoni. He claims it's about Rex too, but no, it is not. There's a video that shows the screen time amounts for each of the characters, and Rex hardly makes a blip. Ahsoka is only 45 minutes behind Anakin, who has, blows everybody else out of the water. Even Obi-Wan is way behind Anakin and Ahsoka. In the beginning seasons, when George Lucas was more present, it was more about Anakin and Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka took less time. But George became more even more hands-off, because he was only coming in once a week, even at the beginning. But then there's interviews saying that around season 4 he became even more hands-off, and it was around season 4 that Ahsoka started taking center stage, and she has taken so much center stage that she's almost beating out Anakin. And George Lucas wanted it to be about Anakin and Obi-Wan. And yeah, no, by this point, as Filoni admits in an interview at the beginning of season 7, it's all about Ahsoka. It's not about Rex. It's about Ahsoka.
Filoni was never George's Padawan, or whatever fans insist on calling him. That's nonsense.
How are we gonna get out of here?
I have an idea.
Don't worry, I'm gonna marry Sue and it's all gonna be okay.
When she's like, I have an idea. I thought of Monsters vs. Aliens. Gentlemen, I may not have a brain, but I have an idea.
Just set those things to stun. We're not trying to kill anyone.
There's her, we're not trying to kill anyone. Maul's doing that, but we're not. No, because we're good. I am good. Oh, we're not trying to kill anyone, but we're gonna hurt them and probably kill them, because we've seen in, what was it where the person slapped their helmets, and they're like, oh, so if slapping their helmets hurts, what do you think throwing a door at them is going to do? I think it's probably going to do so much damage that it kills them. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Those guys are severely injured or dead.
Did you hear Maul also escaped?
He didn't escape. I let him out.
What? Why?
Diversion. Come on!
That's one word for it.
No, you should be saying, what the hell's wrong with you? You're acting an awful lot like Krell right now. Just saying.
Remember, these are his brothers. And she intentionally set Maul on them. He should be pissed. Instead, he's just, that's one word for it, I guess. 'Cause the other word is, murder. But, we can't draw the audience's attention to the fact that that's the other word for it. So he's just going to shrug and vaguely suggest that it's a lot harsher of an outcome than just a diversion.
This arc spits on Rex so much because it retcons Rebels to make Rex look like an absolute. Because Rex told Kanan in Rebels that I never committed Order 66. Yes, you did. You tried to kill Ahsoka. Remember?
Do they remember, though? Because when she pulled the chip out, he's like, oh, what happened? Right? Like, 'cause that's the thing about the chips. It brainwashes them. They have no idea what they're doing. It's like they go into this trance, except every other part of them still functions exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm sure if you tried hard enough, you could come up with some excuse, but if he didn't remember, then why would he go around telling people, yeah, I definitely didn't do it. Definitely not. Did he just lie to Kanan to get Kanan to like him? The hell? Either way, it makes him look like a complete prick.
Kid show. I don't remember if we said it for the scene in the last episode, but kid show.
I'd give that a pass, because that was nothing compared to Bo-Katan or Satine getting choked for like 5 minutes straight, and all the close-ups and yada yada. They were really relishing in those moments. So yeah, that I'd say was not appropriate, but this, it was only a few seconds and wasn't particularly gruesome, so I'd give it a pass.
And it was kind of off screen, so fair enough.
I so wish, instead of the stupid Jedi and Sith alike keep forgetting to use the flippin' Force stupidity, I so wish we could have seen stuff like this, like Force users single-handedly taking down an entire cruiser, because that's their actual power level. That's what they'd realistically be able to achieve. Instead, they struggle with the most basic crap, and it's so infuriating. Where was this for the entire show?
We're caught in that moon's gravitational field.
Why? Again, this is just repeating information that we already know. Why tell us we're caught in this moon's gravitational field, so we're gonna crash right before you have this dramatic shot of you being pulled toward the moon? Pick one or the other. You don't need to treat your audience like they're stupid.
I was gonna say, it makes sense for them to repeat the information about the hyperdrive being offline and then gone. That makes sense because they have to find out somehow. But yeah, when you could just show us this cruiser, which is clearly inoperational now, is headed straight for that moon, I think we can put two and two together that it's gonna crash.
There it is.
Which is worse, creating a bottleneck for the thousands of clones when you're trying to get through that same bottleneck to one of those ships, or having it that they're all loose and they can surround you, and they're opening the doors now, and she sees oh, there it is, there's the shuttle that we're aiming for, and then they keep opening all the doors. I don't know which is better, having the bottleneck or not. The bottleneck is better if you're going to kill them all. Well, I guess stunning, you could just, if you don't care about their lives, bottleneck works better because then you can take them on in smaller amounts, assuming you get down there before they've all flooded through. I mean, ultimately, in this circumstance, I don't think it matters. Either way, there would be too many of them out before they got down there. And this way they have the dramatic reveal, which, I mean, it makes sense to go for a dramatic reveal. When it doesn't matter either way, go for the drama. And again, this comes down to the chips, because in season 6, it looked like he became like, oh, must kill the Jedi. Like a zombie, basically. And it's like, you would think that when there's, like, ship gets, like, destroyed and they realize, like, wouldn't the clones try to get off the ship too? But instead, they're so fixated on, we gotta kill the Jedi. We gotta kill the Jedi and the traitor. We gotta kill them because of the chip, I guess. Then they all just let themselves die, basically. Nobody tries to escape. And that doesn't make sense to me, that they would just go kamikaze to kill the Jedi. But again, it's the chip.
I don't want to hurt them.
You've been hurting them.
Aha!
You have been hurting them left, right, and center. Hypocrite.
Because, yeah, before she used the word kill, and she's going to use the word kill in a minute when she's like, we're not going to, I'm not, they may be willing to die, but I'm not the one who's going to kill them. And even though she is, like, killing them indirectly because she specifically sicked Maul on them. And there's no way she could have thought or not known that he wouldn't be violent. But here, she used the word hurt. Oh, I don't want to hurt them. You directly have been hurting them and indirectly been killing them. There's just so much BS. And, like you said, hypocrisy. But Mary Sue can never do wrong. It's not her, guys. Filoni's telling you, it's not her. It's not her. It's Maul. Maul's a bad guy. He hurts people, but she doesn't want to. She's being forced to, so she's still good. If you don't want to do the bad thing that you're doing, then you're good.
And, like, Filoni almost seems to use the word hurt and kill interchangeably, because we saw it back in season 5 too, when she and Ventress were confronted by the clones. Then she's like, oh, we're not going to hurt any of you. And then when they've all beaten the crap out of the clones, Ventress is like, see, I didn't kill any of them. Kill. Suddenly it's kill. Why don't you just say what you mean? Also, if Ahsoka genuinely didn't want to hurt the clones in this instance, she would have surrendered and let herself be killed, which is honestly more heroic than the crap she's pulling here.
I mean, in a kids show, I can understand why they wouldn't go for that. But if you want her to be a hero and not just give up her life, there's ways it could have been done. I've seen lots of fan ideas and things like that. Like, even working with Maul, like, she worked with Ventress, like, escaping together with him. Or, like, I had one idea, using the vents. That's what she did in season 2. Brain invaders. It's non-confrontational, right? She could easily climb through the vents because they're huge. And so she didn't have to confront a single clone. She could have crawled through the vents, and I'm pretty sure, like, because she could have released the droids, and then the droids go and, like, get into the control room or whatever, and then, she pops out of the vent, knocks out the guys there, right? But, like, it's minimal. She's going for as minimal as possible, and, yeah, maybe she steals a stun gun off of one of them so that she can stun a few guys, but point is, she would not have to do as much damage as she is doing. And especially by not releasing Maul or working with him so that she can kind of keep a lid on him like she did with Ventress. Why didn't she do that? Filoni could have had his cake and ate it too, that she survives, but she looks like a hero doing it. Instead, he makes her look like a completely horrible person But he wants you to think, no, she's a hero, she's a good person, because she doesn't want to do what she's doing, but she does not take any available options to avoid doing what she's doing.
And again, Filoni's doing all this to try to make her look more righteous than the Jedi, because all the other Jedi killed clones. Yeah, and? So what? That doesn't make them unheroic. But like, also, you can totally have one of your characters like sacrifice themselves in a kid show. There's nothing wrong with that.
They had Gregor do it in the season 5 droid arc.
They've had a bunch of clones do it, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, she could have done it to like save Rex. And then Rex could have gone on and just kind of like kept living to honor her memory. Like, obviously he'd get away from the Empire and everything, join the rebellion eventually, and keep fighting in her name. That would be great. But no, she's a hypocrite, and she sucks, and she's Mary Sue.
And she cannot die because she's Filoni's pet character. So, that was never even an option on the table. The only reason it was originally the plan was because Lucas was like, yeah, we're going to kill her off. And then Filoni's like, please, no, please, no, please. And so George is like, fine, if you can make it work, then do it.
They may be willing to die, but I am not the one who is going to kill them.
If I didn't hate Ahsoka, I would love this moment. I think this is a good moment. But I hate Ahsoka, and Rex is 1 second, he's just like, oh, okay, you sicked Maul on them, whatever. And then the next second, he's crying because of his brothers. It's completely stupid. But in a vacuum, I think it's a good moment. It could have been a great moment if everything surrounding it actually supported it, rather than it just being like, and now I want this moment because this'll be a good moment. That's not how that works.
But I am not the one who is going to kill them.
The planet is going to do that. The planet that they're hurtling toward because the guy that you told to cause chaos ripped the hyperdrive apart. But it's not you. So I was going to clarify, because he's like, oh, they don't care if they die while they're trying to fulfill their mission.
They don't care. This ship is going down, and those soldiers, my brothers, are willing to die and take you and me along with them.
So I just wanted to clarify what I said earlier when I was like, well, why aren't they trying to escape the ship? It wasn't like in the sense that, oh no, we're gonna die, we have to save ourselves. I feel like there has been self-preservation in the past. Maybe not necessarily, and like, I could maybe understand this kind of behavior from like the prequel clones, but after all of TCW, where there was definitely an element of self-preservation to the clones. And so I guess, again, it goes back to the chip, right? Oh, well, the chip has now changed them into what they were already in the prequels. And so then now all their free will, including their, self-preservation and all that is gone, and they're just so focused on killing the Jedi and the traitor. And so it's like, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense, I guess. I don't know. I just find it a little bit weird that, like, they're not even acknowledging the fact that the ship is going to crash. Whereas, like, kind of a second ago, like, at least the clones on the, or were they yeah, I think they were clones on the bridge when it's like, oh, the hyperdrive is being destroyed, and then he's like, oh, shut it down, oh, it's too late. I think those were all clones.
The hyperdrive generators are failing. Disengage, it's too late.
Which, come to think of it now, is kind of weird. Why weren't there any non-clones on the ship? But then again, this is the ship that Ahsoka took, right? And if you had other officers on board and she just took them too, I guess that wouldn't make sense. I don't know. This is a question.
Because Rex was supposed to be in charge of this whole thing, and Ahsoka was just going along as advisor. So, yeah, I think it makes sense that there were no other non-clone personnel on board.
I guess my point is, they were not, oh, must stop, abandon our post because we must go kill the Jedi. They were just doing their job. So did they not have chips? Were their chips not working? Or is it like, only the soldier clones who directly hear the order are going to do that brainwashy zombie thing? Everybody else is just going to go on about their business like everything is normal. Suddenly it's not making sense anymore.
So we're just gonna surrender? Well, I don't see any other option.
There is no other option, because if you went out there, realistically, you would die. But no, she just Mary Sue's her way out of this.
Technically, she dies either way, because if she surrenders, they're going to kill her. So only Rex would get out of this alive. And I think only if he was the one who shot her. Then he could potentially, it depends again on whether the chip would make it not matter that he suddenly did his job again. Because the chip doesn't make any sense. The C in chip stands for convenient.
I have an idea.
She always has an idea. As I pointed out, married Sue always has a brilliant plan that succeeds, and, doesn't matter if they're outgunned, outmatched, out everything.
And it's always a crappy plan too, but yeah, it always works out. Always. Mary Sue.
Don't worry, it's a good one.
It's not. Yeah, I really don't like listening to that droid because he sounds so much like Chopper.
The problem is, Ahsoka Tano is no longer a Jedi.
And Maul never was.
You said yourself we're under special order from Darth Sidious to eliminate Ahsoka Tano.
Wait! I'm so sad that I missed that when I was doing the Mary Sue series, because holy moly, special order from Sidious himself. That ex-Padawan? Make sure you guys get her because she's a threat. Wow. The thing is, that's not even true. Because we saw him and it just said execute order 66 and then it bloop. There was no, oh, by the way, this also applies to Ahsoka Tano, who I just so happen to know that is hanging out with you right now, as opposed to just effing around somewhere else in the galaxy. It just doesn't make any sense. It is not even true. And because all he said was, the consequences if you don't obey Order 66. He wasn't like, make sure we get Ahsoka Tano, because even though she doesn't fall under Jedi, Sidious himself made, specific special request order thing that we get her. And we saw the prequels, and there was no, oh, by the way.
Because Ahsoka didn't exist in the prequels because she is a retcon.
If we don't get this right, we will be the ones committing treason.
Apparently, you said specific order from Palpatine, so how could we possibly get this wrong?
You'll be demoted in rank from commander and subject to execution. Yeah, I didn't much like being a commander anyway.
Since when? When have we ever seen Rex express discontent about his role as commander? Oh yeah, never. It's just a throwaway line, because Filoni loves those.
Again, it's him just, okay, whatever.
Ready?
Now!
Ahsoka and Rex should already be dead.
And again, I'm pretty sure guys would be hurt, potentially killed. Especially him, because he's going down head first. So he wouldn't be able to, catch himself in any way. Not that he could anyways. It's too big of a fall.
This whole fight is BS. Because she deals with the guys on her right first. And she doesn't have to worry at all about the guys across from her. They just let her do her thing.
You wanted this chaos.
Yep, you wanted this chaos. And she should most definitely die here.
Please tell me how her Tales of the Jedi training prepared her to survive this BS. She's just hanging there. And she's got how many guys shooting at her? She's only got one lightsaber. She can't dodge in any way. She gets hit. Oh, but she survives because of that Tales of the Jedi training. Yeah. Okay, so the moment where they were on the bridge, that matches her Tales of the Jedi training. So if I'm being nice, you can explain away that. Explain away this. I'm waiting, but I'm not holding my breath.
And now she's not defending at all. She should have been killed right there. Oh yeah, everyone hated when Rey grabbed a ship with the Force, but Ahsoka does it, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, we love you, Ahsoka, you're so amazing, huh?
I mean, again, I'll give that Rey wasn't as trained as Ahsoka, but still, it's too powerful, even for Ahsoka. Like, this is, in my opinion, I could be wrong. Maybe there's evidence that this is not as high level power as I think it is, but like I would think that holding off a ship, I mean, like, think about Yoda in Attack of the Clones when he has to catch that thing that Dooku drops. Like, that takes all of his power and concentration, and it's like, this is similar in size, and it has, like, it is actively emitting power to thrust it away from her. And so she's combating that. And it just seems too much for someone of her training level. So if you're gonna complain about Rey doing it, you should also, I think, be complaining about Ahsoka doing it. Even though Ahsoka has had more training than Rey, I think it still should be above her power level, based on what we've seen from masters like Yoda.
Can't hold them off! Too many of them!
Yeah, can't hold them off. There's too many of them. And yeah, Rex gets shot in the arm and he's injured. Can't use that arm anymore. Ahsoka's been shot 3 times now, at least twice now. Still doing perfectly fine.
Because she was trying to get the ship here. Rex was the only one left defending, so they should both be dead.
But yeah, explain how Rex, who did not have the super special convenient training that Ahsoka got, and he's not even remotely force sensitive, how is he surviving Order 66?
And she takes a whole bloody minute to just stand there and go like, oh, I guess we lost our escape route. Oh, we're being shot at? Oh, I hadn't even noticed. Mary Sue. So that moment, because, yeah, she drops her defense again there, where she's cutting the hole beneath them. So I once slowed down that moment, and I could actually see some of the shots just straight up disappearing. So guys, remember that moment from The Last Jedi that you all love to scream about, justifiably because it's a terrible moment? The disappearing knife. Y'all remember that? This is no different.
Also, I love how she doesn't even tell Rex, like, brace yourself, or it, like, doesn't give him any heads up that he's about to fall. Like, how far?
Yeah, she drops all that way and, like, perfect, epic pose. Mary Sue. How many times do I have to say it? Mary Sue.
You can tell that this is really hard for her because she's got a little dirt on her arms. No, it's hard. So she's not a Mary Sue, guys. Yeah, because she got dirt on her. And Mary Sue's don't get dirt on them.
Plus those dirty droids.
And yeah, all those droids get sacrificed for Rex and Ahsoka's sake, but apparently they don't matter.
Oh, but they did.
She just got shot for the 3rd time. stop and like they go on a casual stroll for a second there. It's like you are on a cruiser full of people who want to kill you. But yeah, this whole thing, you can tell it's just a walk in the park because otherwise she'd be dead right now. You can tell that she's slowing down there, but somehow keeping up just fine. Mary Sue.
What you mentioned about her slowing down. I was gonna, yeah. Oh, look, she's struggling. Oh, it's so hard for her. She's not a Mary Sue.
Remember, folks, all this horror and destruction is happening because of Little Miss Ahsoka.
How are either of them surviving this, right? Like the amount of debris and everything in the air that he would crash into or would crash into him, and he doesn't have Jedi reflexes, so you gonna tell me he's dodging all that just cuz? And like, she's a smaller target, and she's got her Jedi reflexes and such like that, so I could maybe give her a pass, but him? How is he surviving this? How is that ship not getting hit by everything that's just flying everywhere in the air? And the other thing is I would maybe give her a pass, but at the same time, like, she's not exactly in control of her movements. She's in the air. I would maybe suspend my disbelief for that. Maybe, but not him.
I was actually going to say the opposite. Yeah. But like, I find it very convenient that she just so happened to appear right next to him. Mary Sue?
Yeah, like, she's not in control of her. Like, that stuff that's just whipping around her. Why isn't that not shredding her to pieces?
That's not how gravity works, unless she's doing a Leia Poppins.
He couldn't have slowed down, made it easier for her. Like, this is just like cheap suspense. Like, come on, give me real suspense. This is so cheap. Oh, is she gonna reach? Oh no, she can't reach. Like, it's like, okay, come on. You're wasting my time. I know she's gonna get in there. And, or like, he could just pull up a little and boom, she's good. Like, she's so dumb. Oh, she's so sad. She didn't want them to get hurt. So this is so sad now. Didn't stop to try to save any of them.
I will say this is very beautiful music.
So here's the thing that bugs me. I don't know if they did this in the novel, like the burying them all. But I do know that apparently, like, they put Rex's armor on a different clone, like he switched armor with a different clone, and then Ahsoka left both her lightsabers and stuff like that to really sell, like, okay, they're both dead. Stop looking for them. So right off the bat, in this version, it's stupid that Rex keeps his armor and Ahsoka keeps one of her lightsabers. But also, like, yeah, the fact that they're all, like, buried so nicely, you don't think someone would come and see that and be like, okay, who buried them? Who came by and did this? I don't know if the moon is inhabited or if the people are caring enough that they'd, come across this crash and take their time to bury 7,000 clones, right? Like, especially when they have no personal attachment to them. Like, why would they do it? Like, so it just reeks of someone survived and did this. And then the question is, well, who? And then you find only one lightsaber and you don't find Rex anywhere. And it makes you wonder. So it's like, this is so stupid. But they had to show that Ahsoka was so sad that the clones died. So sad.
And the light, like only leaving one lightsaber behind thing was so stupid. Because in Rebels, she's got 2 new lightsabers. And then in the Ahsoka series, she's got her Shoto saber again suddenly. And it's like, wow, there's a very clear disconnect here. You cannot tell me that someone who is willing to ignore what he himself has established is a good writer. Filoni is a hack.
Inconsistencies are good writing, guys. When the stories are different, even though it's like the same character and things like that, that's a sign of good writing, according to Filoni. Filoni thinks that inconsistency is good writing.
And like these shots are very beautiful, very cinematic, but it's just been ruined. Because Ahsoka was a complete hypocrite, she was a complete Mary Sue, and everything was awful.
Here's the thing. They show Ahsoka mourning over the clones' graves, but not Rex. Rex is packing up, getting ready to go. You can tell I'm feeling kind of down, but I'm not standing over my brother's graves mourning them, because we have to have Ahsoka front and center. All focus solely on her. Again, something else I missed in the Mary Sue when I talked about her stealing the spotlight from characters who deserve it as well.
And in Tales of the Jedi, Rex is reduced to being her chauffeur while she goes to pop in at Padme's funeral. Another retcon. Another stupid retcon. Filoni is such a liar. He didn't give a crap about Rex. The Clone Wars is not about Rex.
Kind of looks like a hat coming down on her head.
Oh, look, snow troopers. Remember that? Remember that?
Darth Vader. Darth Vader. Remember him? Remember him? It's Darth Vader.
Because of EFAP, I keep thinking of the he Vadered.
So I was working on a script, and I got curious about when the Imperial March was used in TCW. And most often, it's used around Anakin when he's doing bad things. When you see, oh right, he's gonna turn into Vader. This is foreshadowing him becoming Vader. And here we have Vader, and no Imperial March. You done all this foreshadowing with the Imperial March, and now you finally got the payoff, and you're not using the Imperial March?
Yeah, that's her short saber. I wasn't sure if she left behind her long saber or her short saber, but yeah, she left behind her Shoto saber, and in the Ahsoka series, she suddenly has it again. What is this BS? And yeah, they're trying to have this whole emotional moment. Vader doesn't give a crap. Now Morai shows up. Now. Never appeared in the Mortis arc, suddenly appeared in Rebels, and then Filoni just crams her into season 7 at the last possible second. Your bird is stupid. It's a dumb bird. It's a pointless, dumb bird. And I hate this show. And Vader's looking at the bird like, oh, what? The bird means nothing to him because it didn't exist before. I hate this show. Is it over yet? Is it over yet? Is it? Yes! Yes! Yes!
I want to cry. We're finally done. Oh. There are so many emotions right now. Probably more emotion than I have felt for like all of TCW. I'm just so like excited to move on and relieved that it's done and just like overwhelmed with like what we have accomplished, even though it just started out as just a silly little fun reaction series thing that was never supposed to be like anything real or deep or whatever, and honestly it's changed our lives.
That was really something.
And it's done. It's finally done. It should not have taken us this much time. We started out a lot faster at the beginning.
Oh yeah, for like in the beginning I was literally posting a reaction a day. Sometimes 2 a day. I feel like back then we just like primarily existed in our recording studio. I would drag you upstairs and I'd sit you down. We're gonna do an episode now.
Because it was when my daughter was taking her naps. Yeah, so it was every single day. And then I think even after she went to bed, we would, though we stopped doing that because the lighting was bad. But we were still getting at least like two episodes in a day. And yeah, you were like editing them and posting them like immediately. And then after I moved out, then I think you went to once a week. And then our buffer was shrinking very fast. And so then we're like, okay, let's do every other week. And then even that was really overwhelming because we have the other videos that we do in between. And so you're like, okay, how about we just like do 3 videos a month and we'll just make the reaction every other one.
But yeah, I am so freaking excited to get started on Rebels. I've been waiting so long. Like I've just been wanting to move on to something else for the love of all that is good.
Now we get introduced to a different Mary Sue, from what I've heard. I have never watched Rebels.
But yeah, there you go. Do all the things. Don't forget to do all the things. Show us some love, please. Comment below about how you are so happy that we are finally free of this garbage.
How did TCW change your life? Or maybe this reaction series, because we have had some people be like, you helped change my perspective. And that's really nice to hear sometimes, that it's like we're making a little difference in the world.
There you go. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think we're finally done with this awful series. Awful.
It feels surreal because I've been waiting for this probably since the end of season 5. Like, but at that point I was just like, I'm so done with this. Like, let's move on. Thankfully, season 6 and season 7 are like shorter. They're like half seasons, but still, well, with life and everything, it took us a long time to like find days where we could get together and do some recordings. And so then it just stretches out the finish line so long. And it's just like, I just want to be done. Just let me be done. And now we're done. And it doesn't feel real.
Just to get some perspective, at one point it literally took us, what was it, 5 months? Yeah, 5 months to record our reactions for 1 episode. You have no idea how painful this was. It is so painful. So painful.
It is done.
Yes, it's done.
Done. Now we get to hate something else.
Because I have been holding out hope. We've had a few people tell us that Rebels is worse. I'm being an optimist. Usually I'm a natural pessimist, but in this case I am being an optimist, so.
You don't want to be wrong about a show twice. You are very, very wrong about TCW. And I am never going to let you live that down. Ever. Thank you so much, everyone. And join us in the next reaction series. See you around. We've had this before where Disney's like, no, you will not review this show anymore. They've found us and they've cut us off.
And you scream. And then we scream, yell, no. And then the baby wakes up and then we're done.
You keep holding it like this. And I keep telling you, hold it like this. This, not this. This, not this.